So we've managed to do sod all so far, which is good. Let's pop that in there, that in there. Pop that there. Can we get that on there without it? No, that's going to go wonky donkey. So, the big question now becomes... what are we going to do with this bit? Are we going to... I'm quite tempted to keep building that out along there. And that could be quite cool, couldn't it? We could have a sort of like covered bridge. And then we could continue something here. Ooh, this is kind of exciting. And then we can have another bridge further up over there, maybe. Isn't that fun? Okay, I like that idea. Let's get some of that, get some of that, get some of that, and let's build. Let's build. Talking of building, let's got a couple of little projects on the go at the moment. Poop, that's going to cause problems. So one of them is, so you know, I'm self-employed, but that's not right. I moved out here to be with the missus, and it was a difficult move, because all my friends are down south. That was a hard change for me to do. Sometimes you gotta kind of go with your gut. But I moved out here, and you know, as I say, yeah, I'm self-employed. I work at home, and things have been tight. It's been a tough few years. Ooh, a fucking derp. Let's take that out and put it right back where it was. It's been difficult. The economy hasn't really lent itself well to people that make their living selling stuff to help people sell stuff, I suppose. You don't know, I'm a graphic designer, so I am a print designer technically by trade. Although I do a lot of web shit because that's what people want these days, and I fucking hate doing web shit. I'm honest with you. Do not like. Hang on, what's going on here? That's one there. 1, 2. That's why. Burp. If you know, if you've built up 20 years of, you know, working with a fixed media, you know, like paper, starting You spacked you start dealing with shit like web pages where, you know, the sizes are different depending on all manner of things. There's no constants. It's horrible. I like my fixed page. I know what's what with that. So yeah, I'm doing that, which I'm not overly happy with, and I'm at home all day, pretty much on my own, and that gives you social problems. I don't mean like start fighting people or anything like that. I mean, I don't get out. I don't get to see new people, so it's pretty lonely sometimes, and I don't like that. So again, I'm not trying to get the violins out here, but this is a real point, a real issue. I'm looking kind of. I like the flexibility of being self-employed. It's nice. I mean, I think Kurt was saying that he works from home now and he's self-employed, and you need willpower. It's quite difficult. The hours are quite often worse as well. You don't have, you know, support network. You can't, if you get stuck on something, you can't turn to your buddy on the next desk and say, "Hey, look, I'm stuck with this. How do I do this or that?" And you've got to do your own taxes and shit. It is quite a lot harder, but the benefits are good. You know, you get out of bed whenever you want. You do what the fuck you like. Don't have to shave every day. You know, there are some benefits. You're not a slave to the man. I was never good at timekeeping. I'm not a morning person. That's my trouble. I like my bed. It's usually warm. It doesn't want to release me from its grip. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if you're supposed to be there at 9, you turn up at fucking 5 past. Who gives a shit, man? You don't complain when I'm still there at 6:30 at night, do you? No. But yeah, they often don't see it like that. So I've done my time. I've served my dues in the employment sector, but I'm thinking, I've been toying with the idea of going back if I find the right job, a decent role. So I was well, I had a few interviews. I'm quite good at getting interviews because I've got a fucking great CV, frankly. Or a resume if you are of the American persuasion. But I wasn't getting any jobs. You know, again, because of the financial situation of the planet, things have been pretty dire. I was going for jobs and getting interviews, you know, and I'd regularly be told, you know, oh, yeah, we're interviewing 4 people. We've had 300 applications or something like that. You know, ridiculous numbers. And I get in there, and okay, I'm probably not the greatest at being interviewed, as you can probably tell. I can be a little laid back, and this is not always the thing employers are looking for. Believe it or not. But I was not getting these jobs, and I was thinking, well, is it because I've been out of the market for so long, doing my own thing? See, I see being self-employed as a bonus. That's skills I've got that others haven't. I've got to. Normal graphic designer gets given a job, does it, goes on to the next one. I'm doing everything, and I mean everything. From dealing with the clients, getting the work in the first place, all this sort of time management, budget management, all that sort of shite. All the admin paperwork shit. It's not fun sometimes. I suppose it's not fun quite a lot of the time. Hence the problem. But I wasn't getting there. I was thinking, well, maybe they think I'm some old, so used to working my way, I wouldn't fit into an office or something like that. Anyway, that was the thought that was going on in my head. Anyway, it turns out, after a long time, again with these jobs, you ask for feedback for the interview, and if you get feedback, which is rare because as far as they're concerned, they've picked the person they want, and why deal with this tard that's asking you questions that is of no concern to you anymore. But you ask for feedback, and if you're lucky, you get it, and they generally say, "Oh well, you're really good, very nice person, great work, but we've picked somebody that's got a little more experience in whatever it is we do." And okay, that's fair enough. You had 300 people to pick from. You pulled down a very small group of those. It's highly likely that there's going to be somebody there that's better skilled in that specific field than I am. And I accepted that. That makes sense. That's fine. That's viable. I mean, it's not fine. It's fucking annoying, but it makes sense. And then there's an agency I've been with for a long time. When I first moved here, I joined a few agencies to get some freelance work. I built up all my contacts and stuff, and get extra stuff. And he sent me out. He said, "Oh, I've got a vacancy for you. Give it a go." So I went out. Again, same story. Didn't get it. Asked for feedback, and he got the feedback. He was very good. He asked them why, what was wrong, and they, to their credit, were very good and told him. And the reason was not my work so much as my portfolio itself. I'm, I suppose, old school. I've been taught how to do things a certain way, and as it turns out, people don't do that anymore. This may be blindingly obvious to younger people who are designers who are out there, but when I was a student, when you did your portfolio, you took your work and you put it in there. Now, granted, some of those bits of work in my portfolio are getting on a bit, like myself, and they're starting to look not scabby, but they're starting to go that way. So That's an issue. But it was more the fact that they're in there in the first place. Now, as I say, we're always told, you know, you put your stuff in there, and I've got lots of, you know, catalogues and industry stuff, and that goes in there. I find this sort of the tangible, the touchy-feely is nice. If I'm spending a lot of time on a print job, you know, it's got varnishes and this sort of shit, nice paper. Yeah, I want people to feel that, touch it. But it turns out that nowadays the thing is to present it like an online portfolio. Take pictures of your work and then paste your pictures in the portfolio, which completely alien to me. That doesn't make any sense to me, but there is a logic there in that, you know, your work isn't going to get dog-eared and stuff by people flicking through it, and that does make sense to me. So that. Also, the other thing was, of course, that I'm. Oh, that's a noisy car. I'm using a traditional portfolio in the sense that it's one of these big black things with zips on. And here's a little tip for you guys if you are looking to get employment in this area. The general consensus was this is old-fashioned. Again, it's my old faithful. It's been with me for 25 years. You know, it's done its job, but it's nothing special. They've seen it all before. So what he said, after a long discussion and stuff, which again made a lot of sense, was change that, get something else, make it a bit different, stand out, and redesign it. You know, do it like these online portfolios. So that's what I've been doing. This is the most rambling story in the world. I'm fully aware of that, and I apologise. Oh, tits. I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. It is very difficult. Let's just get back up there. Actually, now I've said that. Let's get up there. Yeah, I've been working on building a new portfolio from scratch, which again has not been particularly easy, if we're brutally honest. It's not been cheap either. Very fucking expensive. So I made it a bit like a sort of hello stairwell. A bit like a photo album, but bigger, A2 in size, and I wanted to make it out of carbon fibre, but this will be no surprise to many people, myself included. Carbon fibre is not very cheap, and the size I wanted, it was getting way expensive. So what I've done is I bought some signboard stuff. It's like foam board, but foam board tends to have a very thin plastic shell on the outside, with foam sandwiched in the middle. Signboard is the same foam. Actually, no, it's slightly more rigid foam, I think, but the plastic on the outside is thicker, stronger. It's more rigid and doesn't dent quite so easily when you. I mean, you can lean on foam board and it will just collapse in on itself. So I've got some of that. and I have coated it. Oh, no, fuck it, yeah. I wasn't going to do that, but done it now. Covered it with carbon fibre vinyl. It's like embossed stuff. It's very good actually. It looks like it. And then I had to find some. Oh, it's been a nightmare, absolute nightmare job. I've had to source what we used to call sex bolts when I used to skateboard. They've got various names now. Binding nuts. But basically it's like a bolt, and then you've got another bolt, but instead of the thread being on the outside, it's hollow and the thread's on the inside, and they sort of screw together. So I had to find some of those. Not only find some of those, but find some of those that were a decent size and looked nice, and that was the nub. Getting them that look nice is very difficult, and it just so happens I was in my local hardware store having a route through, and in the back they had a box of exactly what I needed, and it turns out they had to order some in for a customer. I mean they weren't on the shelves or anything, they were right out the back, and I managed to grab some of those, which I was very pleased about. Relatively inexpensive as well, which is nice. Anything that has been. Oops. Dick. So it's slowly going together. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. The next thing I need to do is photograph all my stuff, which is something I'm not looking forward to be honest with you. Get that shit together. And printing it out. Again, it's quite amusing, but I don't actually have a printer at the moment. My last one died, and I've been doing so many web jobs that I haven't really had a need for one. So I was down the print shop the other day, getting some prices on getting those printed out, and again that's going to be another fat chunk of money I don't really have at the moment, so c'est la vie. But hopefully it'll be super spangly, and then if I see a job that I like the look of, I've got a much better chance of getting it, should I so desire. But again, that's another another can of worms entirely. I was talking with the guy in the print shop. So I was talking about how I wanted some high quality paper for print because of what I did and what it was, and he was saying, oh, so asking me questions about what I did and stuff, and saying he had a job vacancy there, but it was this shitty little print shop. They weren't going to be what I was after, but he was saying that they had a fair few applicants for the job, and then they were doing interviews, and a large portion of them didn't turn up for the interview, and then after the interview they did a sort of a second interview where they sort of came round and showed them all the machines and stuff, and I said a portion of those didn't turn up either. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah, this people are supposed to be scrabbling for jobs. I think shit like this, and people don't turn up for them. So I don't know. It's weird. Right. I'm going to have to work out what I'm doing with that. I'll probably just give myself twice as much work. That grass block there. Yeah, this needs to come out more, doesn't it? Muchos moros. Yeah, it's giving us more work, but fuck it, you know. It'll look better when it's done. I want some of these more crazy buildings. The only thing that's slightly worrying me is not the bridge thing. The bridge thing doesn't worry me at all. It's what I'm going to do here, because you can't have a 90-degree angle in a bridge. That just makes no sense. So we're going to have some, maybe some sort of tower here or something. The ground up. I don't know, and neither will you, because this is probably as good a spot as any to end it. Yeah, so I kind of got not morose. I got a little lower. Again, yeah, this is my own undoing. I'm talk about real things for adults, not run around screaming about how there's, oh my god, there's fire! Oh my god! And I apologise for that, but I think the people that do watch my stuff appreciate that change in pace, to be honest with you. It's just a shame there's not more views, so I don't have to worry about looking for a job. I don't know. I can't complain really, I suppose. Right, yes. I don't like that. Where it just starts. I'll come back to that later. But yeah, anyway, I shall carry on with this, I think, and hopefully at some point in the non too distant future I can start getting some names in here, because I do feel quite guilty about the fact that people have donated and their names have not been recognised as yet, so I do need to get that shit on. And again, I say it every time, but I really do apologise, but this is my priority for now, and we'll get some rooms up. And I think Good made some valid points about donations and stuff the other day in his video. I don't know if you've seen that, but if you haven't, go check it out. I mean, he was saying he doesn't take donations anymore because frankly he doesn't need to. You get to a point when you're doing this where you're getting a reasonable salary. Actually, there are certain people on here that are getting more than a reasonable salary. They're getting a reasonable salary for a surgeon. And to... I mean, obviously, there's a wide variety of age ranges, but as we said before, some of the more popular ones tend to have quite a lot of younger viewers, and to take money from young people that don't have much when you're earning quite a significant amount is not cool. I think the best way to describe something like that. Oh my god, I made that jump. Alright, I stand corrected. This is a fucking awesome episode. Oh, missed that one. Ow. Yeah, so while I have no moral objections at the moment to taking donations if people so wish to, because I don't earn a great deal of money from this, and I don't earn a great deal of money for the rest of my life either at the moment, so it all is extremely helpful. But should I get to the point where I'm earning a shit ton, then I will let you know. But for now, I have no compunction in saying feel free to donate. Well, we did it again. Seriously though, I am trying to... Oh fuck, I've done it again. Trying to get a another PC built so that I can have that rendering... Go away. So I can have this one rendering and that one is a games machine. And that will help my output quite dramatically. I was watching Good's PC build video, and I mean, I knew it was expensive. Oh fuck! I can't do fucking sprint jumps anymore. I knew it was an expensive PC, but he spent more on his fucking motherboard than I earn in a month from this. So, but so that's why he doesn't accept donations anymore, and good on him for that. This guy's doing well. Right, let's stop talking about disgusting things like money and get on with this. Some sort of archway in here. I need to bring this down out to the big tall archway. Like that. And I will get on the old FTBs and get some more of that on the go. Oh, where am I going to put staircases? This is the question. Where are we going to stair? I mean, we could put a spirally in here, perhaps. I'd have to something a bit grander. Ooh, excuse me. How rude. I wonder if we can link it up with that. That's an interesting idea, isn't it? See, this is the problem. Nah, it's too far. Too far. Even for me. Yes, what was I saying? Yeah, I'll get some more FTB done. See where we're going with that. It's quite fun. You know, I've got mixed feelings about Feed the Beast. Part of it is great because there's so much new stuff and there's so many things you can do and you can automate shit. But fuck, it's frustrating. They just don't put any instructions. And when you build a machine and then it doesn't work, and you discover it doesn't work because you had to have the wire going in the front and not the side. I mean, you're looking at the wikis and it doesn't fucking tell you that. I mean, seriously, people, let's work out how to do a little bit of instructional documentation. That would be quite helpful and make things a lot better. But I will go through that probably in the FTP video. So, and you like Minecraft? Go watch that shit. I need it. I don't want another 600 view series. Please. Thank you very much. Love you. Speak to you later.